Our sponsor for today is retro space shooter Orbital Bombardment, the debut title from developer and publisher Banabot Games. Destroy enemy structures from your ship on a variety of uniquely shaped planets, and then massacre the civilizations on these planets. Civilizations which seek to exploit and destroy the planets they call home. Shoot down atomic factories with your Gatling gun, destroy power plants with your ion cannon, and drop hydrogen bombs on compounds, which seems a bit excessive, a hydrogen bomb, because compounds gives the impression that maybe like there are people here, but let's assume that these civilizations are all just cults or military personnel, so who cares, wipe them from the universe. Bored of your ship? Don't worry, because Orbital Bombardment's got 5 different types of ships for you to unlock, each with unique abilities. Destroy with style. Bask in the game's low-poly atmospheric space environments, where everything can be anything using your imagination. To accompany your wanton destruction are delightful retro synthwave tracks that'll have you bopping and shoulder shaking, like in this here trailer. Joe, give the people an ear nibble. No, not literally. Maybe at the end of the video. This DLC and microtransaction-free bullet hell space action is coming to you Q2 of 2023. So get this little indie on your wish list and maybe read the Ender's Game series to prep yourself. You'll figure out why afterwards. Hee hee. Again, thanks to Banabot Games for sponsoring this video, and best of luck to them with their upcoming title, Orbital Bombardment. Thank you again for sponsoring! Pew pew, indie-loving losers! It's I Dream of Indie Games with your weekly indie gaming news, and I, Literary Rose, shall be bombarding you again with more indie gaming news than you can handle. Don't like it? Too bad, punks. This is my show now. Alright y'all, let's start off with survival city builder These Doomed Isles, the First God. A free prologue for These Doomed Isles, the main game, and this prologue will be releasing in April. Developed by Triple Vision Games Limited and published by Fireshine Games, wield the power of Celtic god of nature Cernunnos? I looked up the pronunciation, but I did my best. Anyway, you're gonna wield the power of the Celtic god of nature and you're gonna create a mighty empire, fighting waves of invaders and mythological creatures. I love me a good myth. Something unique about this game that caught my attention, besides the vibrant and stylized art, is the use of cards to build your civilization. I was also intrigued by the heavy emphasis on warding off enemies, including using powers that are unique to your deity. Progress from this free prologue can be transferred to the main game when it releases into early access later this year, so you've got no excuse not to give this game a shot. Add These Doomed Isles, the First God, to your wish list today. Next on the list is Gripper, a cyber bike action game from developer Hardcore that offers Akira, Fury, and Hyper Light Drifter inspired design and combat. That's a lot to live up to. Coming out for PC and Nintendo Switch on March 29th, this story-driven action game looks to offer players something dejected cyberpunk fans were promised. Dark synth music, heart-racing boss battles, an electric cyberpunk aesthetic, and a heartwarming tale. Co-founder Kirill Zolovkin also cites his mother as a source of inspiration while making this game, whose loss he had to work through while developing this title. Walking through grief is never easy, especially when the fate of the world is in your hands. Next on the list, it's not a game, but definitely indie game related. The Indie Live Expo is a biannual live digital showcase that is now open for submissions. They are officially reviewing game submissions for independent developers and publishers to take part in a 2-day summer showcase occurring May 20th and May 21st. Indie Live Expo offers a spotlight for new games, DLC, and updates to existing indie games. And I know I'm personally excited to see this showcase streamed on the channel when it goes live. Maybe it'll be me, maybe it'll be Legend, Silent Signs, either way. We'll be watching, and hopefully you will be too. Return to the golden age of fighting and beat-em-up games with this next title, Fight and Rage. Coming to us from Seba Games Dev, this game originally released in 2017 to widespread support, and is now seeing a port to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series in 120 FPS. Beat up an assortment of foes in this 1 to 3 player local co-op and 2D action game, with an art style reminiscent of the 90s arcade greats like Streets of Rage and Final Fight. If you're already a fan of the game and own it, you might be interested to hear that a physical release in Europe is in the works, with an exclusive cover by Ilya Kuvishinov, a boxed CD OST, and a diorama. While this is not my preferred genre, how could I not be impressed by the incredible pixel art, the CRT effect, and of course, the big titty anime girl as I shake around my itty bitties. There's nothing to shake. Speaking of Europe and shitty segues, a physical release of Coffee Talk Double Pack Edition has been announced for European gamers. Rejoice, my darlings, for this delightful narrative barista game can be added to your collection. Developed by Toge Productions, the Double Pack Edition will be releasing this summer. You'll be getting a physical disc/cart and a code to download the soundtrack, which I can personally attest is worth an out-of-game listen. For updates, follow Numbskull Games and find out exactly when this physical edition will be hitting shelves near you. Alright, when I saw in the press release for this game that they had a Nietzsche quote about the abyss looking back into you, I knew I had to take a look at it. And let me say that the Thaumaturge, I'm probably saying that all wrong, looks like a very promising upcoming isometric RPG. With the title meaning one who performs supernatural events in ancient Greek, 11-bit Studios and Fool's Theory have big plans for this story-rich dark fantasy indie. Taking place in early 20th century Poland after being annexed by the Russian Empire, players will have to take morally ambiguous choices as they attempt to survive this mystical and dangerous world. For now, as you can see, all we have is in-engine cutscene footage, but a gameplay demo will be presented behind closed doors at this year's Game Developers Conference. Hey, devs, how about you open those doors for a little channel called I Dream of Indie? Pretty please? Oh well, let's just wait and see if the gameplay lives up to the trailer. Danish indie dev Floppy Club has released Rytmos, a musical intergalactic puzzler where you make music by solving puzzles. Who would have thought? Those familiar with our channel might have heard by now about my deep-seated hatred for puzzle games, because my big-ass ego cannot take a hit, and puzzle games are quite a humbling experience for me. But I'd be willing to injure my ego for Rytmos, because it looks positively delightful. The neatest feature for me is that once the puzzles for a planet are completed, you unlock an interactive music maker that lets you craft your own bops, record entire sessions, and produce full tracks using the over 15 instruments and modifiers available in the game. From Germany's 70s electronic scene, 1960s Ethiopian jazz, or the 8-bit gaming wave, Rytmos pays homage to global music genres while scratching your brain folds. I'd be remiss not to mention the apparent partner website for the game, which offers free playlists of in-game music, as well as information on music theory and history. Rytmos is out now on PC and Nintendo Switch, so explore music genres and create your own tunes as you puzzle your way through the cosmos. Get Innchanted by this cooperative innkeeping game, a casual adventure game that immediately reminded me of Overcooked in all the right ways. Coming from debut Aussie dev Dragon Bear Studios, reclaim your family's legacy after an evil wizard landlord steals your family in. Evil landlord. Sounds legit. But instead of being beaten into submission by a rich landlord with legal threats, this wizard offers you to duke it out in a battle of who is the best innkeeper. So round up 3 friends for some online or local co-op gaming, or play with an AI and get ready to brew potions, fish, cook, serve food, and defend your inn throughout 50 unique levels. Enjoy a fantasy adventure inspired by indigenous Australian tales that's full of puns and play. Innchanted releases March 26. Is your tooth aching from these saccharine art styles? Well, too fucking bad, cause Island City's Jigsaw puzzle is a cozy casual beauty in visuals and gameplay. Originally released last year, this 3D point-and-click puzzler is coming to the Nintendo Switch on March 9th for a whopping $2.99 USD. Scrolling through developers Men's Sauna Interactive's repertoire, it seems they found and settled into a puzzle game niche, all of which have a cute aesthetic and a very affordable price point. With no time limit, logic challenges, or resources to manage, relax with Island City's soothing soundtrack and watch your diorama come to life. Next up is Plasma, a physics-based engineering sandbox developed by Dry Licorice that'll be entering early access March 30th. Create all sorts of machines in this bright and colorful world, building each structure from scratch. With a user-friendly tutorial system to help novice engineers, learn the basics of engineering while having fun. A shocking idea to students and educators alike. From cute but disfigured hobbling robots, which you might have noticed in the trailer, poor motherfucker needs some hips, come on now, to the spider robots to just straight up mechas, players of all ages can dip their toes in visual programming. Tinker away in Plasma, your engineering playground on March 30th. I have sworn to never touch a Souls-like again after an onslaught of reviews and streams of these brutal games, followed by the ensuing misery at my abject failure to pass even the easiest of early bosses. Specifically, I'm thinking of Odor. Fuck Odor. I wasn't built for this shit, okay? I read books. I'm an academic, an artist, and superior to all you dank Souls plebs. But between the breathtaking, fantastical visual design and score, the music of which was crafted by Austin Wintory, who also worked on Journey, Abzu, and the Banner Saga, I could not pass up giving this game a spotlight on our news. Strayed Lights takes place in a dark and oniric world, a word which means related to dreams. Battle enormous creatures as a tiny light, journeying to achieve awakening and overcome their inner demons. So, therapy? A unique feature of this game is the ability to shift between colors, with each color offering different tactical advantages in combat. Parry enemies and absorb their energy, only to fling it back for total devastation. I'll have to ask my therapist if this could be an option for resolving my boatloads of trauma. Is this why you fuckers play all these Souls-like games? From the intelligent combat design, to the award-winning composer, to the show-stopping art, Strayed Lights looks to be the next showstopper in the Souls-like scene, with a unique take on this ever-growing genre. Coming out April 25th on all major consoles, Steam, Epic Game Store, and Good Old Games, delve into the labor of love that is Strayed Lights. Taking a hard left from the fantasy art of our previous title, we've got Barotrauma, a sub-oceanic survival sim that emerges from early access after almost 4 years of development. Created by Fake Fish and Undertow Games and published by Daedalic Entertainment, Barotrauma is a 2D co-op submarine simulator with survival horror elements that takes place on Jupiter's frozen moon, Europa. Steer your sub, give orders to your crew, fight monsters attempting to barrel into your ship, shoot said monsters in their tentacled faces, and craft items while attempting to maintain some semblance of order. With full mod support, a traitor mode that randomly assigns players as a secret conspirator, a vast repertoire of missions to complete, and the ability to create your own ships and monsters that can be shared with other players, Barotrauma has more features than I have time to go over, but damn it, I'm trying here. Hard pivot again, bitches, and let's take a look at puzzle adventure game Tin Hearts, which is heading to PSVR 2, MetaQuest 2, and PC VR on April 20th, 2023. Stated as being designed from the ground up for VR, explore this alternate timeline Victorian universe that is charming and hopefully not full of arsenic-laden green wallpaper. Journey through a magical story of tin soldiers solving a trail of puzzles in a toy-filled world, all the while revealing a thought-provoking story about love and compromise. Experience the fun and fancy in VR with Tin Hearts. We've talked about plenty of games already out or in development, so here's our first on today's news that's a Kickstarter. This is Piratopia, Raiders of Pirate Bay, which is the best name for a game ever. Raiders of Pirate Bay? Yes. I hope that subtitle is a not-so-subtle reference to the infamous host of CD torrents that probably have a Trojan virus, but fuck it, you'll take the chance! Because it's the 80s or the 90s or the early 2000s, or probably people still torrent now. Torrenting, still happening today. But no viruses in this upcoming maritime multiplayer game, which originally began as a free early access game that is still available for players to try out. Solo dev Adi Zavo, probably said that wrong and I apologize, seeks to upgrade Piratopia with a graphical overhaul, a bigger world, and new features that aim to expand the scope, scale, and audience of this title. Play PvE or PvP co-op in this swashbuckling oceanic adventure, taking down enemies to collect resources, which you'll later use to upgrade your gear and take down monstrous sea creatures. With a variety of planned factions, ships, and playable characters, and a free game to see what the base is, so you know what the Kickstarter could potentially offer with these expansions, there's a lot here to look forward to, potentially. Their Kickstarter only just launched and has 57 days to go, so pillage your couch cushions and relatives for loose change, and consider supporting this title. Here is your obligatory ARG! The worst ARG you've heard in your fucking life. Like simulation games? Love animals? Have no money to take care of animals, own a shelter, or purchase deworming medication for your furry friends to poop out endless worms? If that sounds like you, then consider getting Animal Shelter Simulator, a game where you run a shelter for dogs and cats. From Polish indie studio Games Incubator, this title was first released for PC in 2022, but is getting its PlayStation 4 and 5 release on March 3rd, and a Nintendo Switch release is slated for Q1 of this year. So, pretty fucking soon? Collect sweet Kit Kats and Doges from your rescue van and bring them into your shelter, where you'll monitor their health, hunger, and happiness. Part of that monitoring requires play, so let them loose in the yard or a room in the shelter and entrance them with balls and laser pointers. Help them get adopted through elaborate photography sessions, using all kinds of silly props to help these sweet babies find their forever home. But don't forget about the shelter itself. You'll need to construct new buildings, rearrange existing ones, expand rooms, and more. With glowing reviews on Steam, if you're a console player looking for a feel-good time, check out Animal Shelter Simulator. And cross your fingers that the Horse Shelter DLC is getting ported too. Alright, I think Joe's gonna like this one because we've got ourselves a top-down action game a la Hotline Miami that's currently over halfway to its funding goal on Kickstarter. Say hello to my little chainsaw in The Zebraman, a hypercharged pixel art top-down action game where you don a zebra mask and unleash carnage to all in your wake. Paying homage to grindhouse films and retro games, this planned indie game will also feature live-action cutscenes, which I imagine will bear some similarity to the one you're probably seeing right now in the trailer. With tongue-in-cheek humor and an excess of blood spillage, you'll be time-traveling and entering interdimensional portals to solve puzzles and kill bitches. With a planned release in Q4 of this year for PC and all major consoles, give the free Steam demo a swirl and see if the Zebraman is worth your blood, sweat, and tears. FYI, we're on number 17 now with 5 more game news to go, so if you've been sitting here thinking, damn, when will this end? Never, bitch! Go make some tea and strap the fuck in, cause it's 1 a.m. when I wrote this, definitely not when I'm recording this, and I'm a fucking masochist. If you're also into pain, Isonzo is a historical tactical FPS that's releasing their second free content update. Part of 3 planned free content updates, this expansion offers a new offensive map to fight your way through in this World War I based first-person shooter. Defend the River Piave as Italian soldiers, or attempt to cross it as the Germans, and with 2 new weapons to mix up the gameplay. Now, I'm not a history buff, but based on user reviews, these devs have done their due diligence in adhering to the historical realities of World War I. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, hey, they did their homework. It's a mad, mad world in this MMORPG, and the grotesque art style only serves as a visual reminder of this. Mad World: Age of Darkness is an upcoming, massively multiplayer online RPG from Jandisoft that's currently open for pre-registration. Mad World touts many features to entice you over. The ability to move while attacking and lock on to targets, a flexible class system, easy weapon switching, acts filled with story-based quests and powerful boss monsters, a raid system, and the ensuing friendship-ruining scramble to collect loot. To name a few features, of course. And for the story, you get a dark narrative that fits the art style, where humanity struggles to survive in a demon-led world of despair. Nothing about this game fits my personal taste, but even my cozy loving ass can see something awesome and drop my jaw in awe. Mad World: Age of Darkness could be your new MMORPG fixation, so check it out. River Tales: Stronger Together is a co-op game I've had my eye on since it was first teased in a cozy game announcement long ago, and now it'll be out for early access on March 16th. Play as the cutest cat and fish in this animated 3D adventure platformer, guiding these unlikely friends through gorgeous natural environments. With local co-op only planned, there may be online if enough interest is drummed up, but overall the design is based around having a human next to you and working together. For the early access version, you'll be able to enter the first 2 worlds, each of which has 3 levels and a final boss level, as well as a chance to discover something called Beaver Resort? Yes, yes, yes! Developed by an art director for children's cartoons and a math teacher and commercial video director, we can expect more of the stunning visuals that you're seeing now in this trailer. Grab a patient human near you and try out River Tales: Stronger Together. For our penultimate title, let's look at Zor: Pilgrimage of Slorfs, an early access turn-based tactics card game that just released its next content update. Developed by Righteous Hammer Games, use your cards and your wits to battle through a procedurally generated trial of combat encounters, with the creatures and terrain providing equal danger. With currently over 100 cards, a camping mechanic for survival while you travel to the god Zor, and endless replay value in its procedurally generated areas, there's plenty bang for your buck. Zor looks beautiful, and I'm a sucker for card games as well as turn-based tactics, and with only 28 reviews so far, let's give this little indie a shot. I know I will. Bow, 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 bow. We've made it to the last one, y'all. If you're here, leave a comment simply stating, "Farts smell like cheese." Yes, farts smell like cheese. Explain nothing. That juvenile request aside, our final game is anything but immature. It's an education game. Shasingno is a photography game for learning Japanese that's currently on Kickstarter, with a goal of $30,000 and a current pledge of $18,500. The horizon is looking clear for this indie to pass its goal. However, they still have over $12,000 to reach their base funding goal, so if this game looks and sounds like it's up your alley, after carefully reviewing the Kickstarter and the developers, this is not something I've mentioned previously, but let me say it now, always research it, and go in when you're going to Kickstarters with an understanding that shit could go awry. Hopefully it doesn't, but we must be open to that potential. Anyway, this game is exactly what the title states. Explore a fictional Japanese city and learn names of objects by taking pictures. Each picture translates the name of the objective to English, taking the tried and true flashcard study method to the next level. Try out their free roam photography mode to learn new vocab, test your memory in the find mode, and get gold star coins to spend at gachapon machines to purchase new filters and effects. On the back of your photo flashcards will be additional information such as related vocab, adjectives, and verbs to expand your studying material. You'll also be able to click on text in signs, posters, and advertisements for translations so you can learn more about words while you practice reading. Now, I'm a big proponent of gamified learning, as I personally have found it to help me reach so many goals, mostly in self-improvement and fitness, but Regardless, this sure beats repeating the same few words with the Duolingo owl. Shasingno sounds like a fantastic endeavor that I hope achieves and surpasses its goal, and if you're looking for a way to learn Japanese one day, this game could become your go-to study guide. Whew. Alright y'all, fuck, that was a long bit of news. I did it to myself, so I don't know why I'm complaining, but I love to complain. No more preamble, your question for the week. What was your favorite stuffed animal as a child, and what would that stuffed animal look like if it was transformed into a cyberpunk mechanized creature? If you know what I'm referencing, you paid attention. Alright y'all, smell you later!